gotta understand what's going on right now. See, it's something about this platform, individuals. There's something about this platform, Simone, that just brings a certain excitement out of your boy King Q. I'm getting to the space right now, individuals, to where I look very forward to putting these episodes on. And the reason being is because we have the opportunity to sit across some super dope people that are doing a lot. And in the building today, we have a very, very, very special guest. She goes by two names, and I've been waiting to say both of them. You got to understand what's going on. She goes by Nicole The Pole Williams, aka Nicole.
No.
Nicole. I said Nicole.
That's another nickname, but that's not for this podcast.
Let me do it one time. I said Nicole The Pole Williams, aka Nicole. Damn, that's the motherfucking.
It's just Nicole again. Nicole the Soul. Nicole The Pole Williams. Nicole.
It's like my brain just is like, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
My friend gonna love this because they call me Nicole too.
They call you Nicole.
That's just another nickname because I have
Nicole the Soul, aka Nicole. That's fucking insane. My mind literally does that on its own. That's insane.
Nicole the Pole,
Anyways,
Nicole the Soul.
Nicole is in the building. We're gonna keep it right there. Nicole is in the building. What's going on, Nicole? How you feeling?
What's up, man? I'm feeling real good. I'm happy to be here.
Hey, we happy to have you. You know, we been, this is long overdue. You know what I'm saying? We done tried to book you a few times. Shit came up. We had to move and do this and do that. But I'm very, very excited to sit across from you. What a lot of people don't know is before guests come onto the Unselfish Behavior podcast is we usually have conversation before the cameras cut on, and we're going to jump into a lot of the topics that we talked about. But before we do that, I always like to allow the floor to be wide open. That's right, for my guests to be able to talk to the people that may not be aware of who you are, because we do know that you are a superstar. You know, you got to understand what's going on. So if you could just talk to the people real quick about who you are, what you do, and what you stand for.
I am a teacher.
Come on.
I teach pole dance. I'm a professional pole dancer. I'm a personal trainer, certified life coach.
There we go.
A ball of energy.
Come on.
An entertainer.
I ain't mad at it. Come on now.
And my mission in life is to empower people. I want to help people live the life of their dreams like I've been doing.
I love it.
And I want to teach people the tools, the skills needed to make that happen. Because life is all about tools and skills.
Right.
And the more you know, the more you grow.
Facts.
And I'm very passionate about just helping people realize their power. We're so powerful. I'm even more powerful than I know. You know what I mean? And every year I'm learning more and more about stepping into my power, which makes me more valuable, which makes us all more valuable. And that's what I'm about.
There's so many layers to us, isn't it?
It is.
There's so many layers to us. And it's like, I think that's one of the most beautiful things about life is like, when you really think about it. Like, for example, have you ever had a situation to where you've attempted to have or be consistent with, let's say, for example, a fitness schedule, and it's like, fuck, I fell off after 3 weeks. Have you had that before?
Yes.
I've had that before many times. But the first thought is like, damn, what if I stayed consistent at this shit for like 4 months? Or 6 months, or a year, or 3 years. Or, like, what would I look like?
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? How would I feel? And it's like, that just goes to show we have so many layers of us as people that we can explore. Obviously, that was an analogy for, you know, the physical aspects, but I think from a mental aspect, I think from a perspective and a purpose
it works
aspect,
across the board.
Across the board, right?
Consistency.
And so it's just everything. Consistency has been the mantra for my journey. You know, and I love the great Nipsey Hussle, rest his soul. He says the only difference between me and people who don't experience success is that I just didn't quit.
Yeah.
And I completely agree with that.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? There's so many people out here, Nicole, that have so many beautiful gifts. They have stories out here. There's people that's listening to this podcast as we speak. And when they listen to it, they're going to understand, you know, a lot of this information sounds like it's personally talking to you. And I tell people and encourage people that if this sounds like something you need to act on, then act off of it.
Yeah.
What's the point of getting knowledge if you're not going to apply it? So what's the point of being a bookworm if you didn't fucking apply anything that you read?
Exactly.
It's pointless. So for me, consistency is everything. What has consistency been like for you? Has that been at the forefront of your journey?
Definitely.
And just kind of like, where has that been at for you in your journey, the word consistency? What do you think about when you think about that?
I've been consistent in my desire to teach.
Yeah.
I started personal training at the age of 20.
Come on.
I've been an entrepreneur since I was 20. I have not had a job. in 19 years.
No excuses. No excuses.
So that's all that I know.
Yes,
you know, where most people are like, they have a job and they don't know how to go into entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know necessarily like how to go about like having an actual real job. Like that just doesn't even compute to my mind. So I've been consistent in following my dreams, meaning I haven't had to go back and get a job.
That's right.
And I've been consistent in reading, getting the knowledge that I need so that I can grow. I do self-development courses and workshops. I'm reading several books every year, and I'm applying what it is that I'm learning. And then I'm teaching it and coaching it, because when you teach, you learn too.
That's right.
So when I get coaching clients, the beautiful thing about the clients that I attract, I always know I'm attracting somebody that's either gone through what I've gone through, or is going through what I'm going through,
or about to go through.
Or something that is like, I needed to be reminded on this, I need a refresher. So that's the beauty of teaching.
I love it.
And then constantly learning new ways to break things down to people. Teaching pole dance, doing fitness, and being a coach, you have to learn how to speak in different ways.
Yes, ma'am.
Some people need touch.
Yep.
Some people need different verbal cues. Some people need to, you know, they need a little more aggressiveness. Some people need love. Some people a little softer. And then if you can have all those different modalities, that means they're in myself too. So it's like the more I can adapt, the more people I can affect and transform.
And you're learning in that process
yourself.
I think in the teaching aspect, and I completely agree with what you said, because I've put on workshops and I've event produced and I've performed and I've traveled and I've, you know, touched people in a lot of different ways. But one thing that I realized every time that I explore a new avenue of reaching people, it's kind of like an aha moment, or kind of like a light bulb goes off. Like, oh shit, I could do this. In this way?
Yeah.
And still do the other shit?
Yeah.
Like, ain't that something, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I didn't have to sacrifice giving up the event production. I can still do poetry, and I can still be a host, and I can still have a podcast, and I can still put on workshops. I can still go speak to school. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You can do whatever the fuck you want.
The fuck you want. And I just need to drive that point home for people.
Yeah.
I am in the age right now. We're in the age, actually, and I'm in the season of execution. It's execution season, which means it's harvest season. And I'm so tired of folks looking at me, treating me like I've been doing this shit for years. Nope. It's a testament of consistency.
Yeah.
It's a testament of intention. A lot of people out here moving with no intention.
And seeing your vision through.
Where are you going? Moving with no intention is a hamster on a wheel. Where are you going? Oh, you busy all the time. You booked and busy, sis. I see you. You booked and busy.
But you unhappy.
You unhappy. You unhealthy.
Which means you're not moving in your purpose, passion, mission, or vision.
And most importantly, you're unfulfilled.
Yeah.
All that movement and you're still unfulfilled. You still feel like there's something missing. Maybe that's because you're doing all this movement for the wrong reasons. Maybe it's because you're trying to portray like you're busy to get validation from other people that may have a certain expectation of you, and you're not truly doing what you desire because the money's not coming in yet. That's right. Or the sacrifice is too big in order to actually obtain it. Like, a lot of times we want things, we want these big and lavish goals to come to fruition. But the big and lavish goals require big and lavish sacrifice. I'll be talking on this motherfucking platform. Sometimes I gotta look at that camera and I gotta say, damn, I hope they listening.
And can you handle the small sacrifices? Can you handle the small goals? If you cannot do that, how can you handle anything bigger?
Come on.
Like, I was just texting with a friend today, like, what are 3 things you're grateful for this morning? What are 3 things that are gonna make today great? I have a journal that asks me those things every day.
Yes, ma'am.
The 3 things that are going to make my day great, I've been using that journal for the last 4 or 5 months.
Come on now.
Everything has been happening. I'm writing down, and I'm like, go big.
Come on.
Ask the stuff that you like. I don't even know if that would happen.
Facts.
I'm booking a $1,000 job today.
Do it anyway.
I've been booking $1,000 jobs. I got a $1,000 job tomorrow. I'm performing 2 times to 2 songs. I'll be done in an hour.
$1,000 in an hour. Nicole The Pole ain't worked in 19 years.
For doing pole dance. Okay, my clothes are on.
Come on.
My clothes are on. I'm entertaining people, but I'm just not doing the pole. I leave energy in the room. You know what I mean? I'm changing people's vision of what pole dance is, of what artistry is, showing femininity, but strength and elegance and grace, but from a tomboy's perspective. You know what I mean?
Ain't that a trip? Because the tomboy aspect is what a lot of people may not realize.
Yeah, they think I'm girly, and I'm like, that's not me,
like,
yo.
Nigga, whoop your ass, nigga. What the fuck is you talking about?
Like, we can go hoop right now.
That part. You got a little jump on you?
Oh, yes.
You got a little jump shot?
You get the jump
She got a little jump shot.
You see it. You see it.
Come on, stop playing with them. That's real, though. That's real. Look, do you find that in the field that you're in and being a professional pole dancer, is that the proper way to say it?
That's what I call myself, because I do it as a career.
Gotcha.
Not meaning you could just also be a pole dancer, or you could be a dancer. But I'm not a regular dancer. I'm not a trained in regular dance. I pole dance.
Okay. So what's kind of some misconceptions that you get as being a pole dancer? Do you get a lot of people that try to
think that I maybe worked in a club, or do I strip too? And the two literally have nothing to do with each other, except it's the same apparatus being used.
Except
but like
it's a pole right there. But it's two completely different experiences.
Yes, man.
Gotcha.
And the strip club life it's a dark world, yo. And for people to imply that that's what somebody is wanting to do, it's like, why would you want a person to go and be in such a dark place? I have friends that strip, and stripping is, I don't have a problem with stripping is entertaining, it's fun. People, you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's still a dark world, meaning the stuff that happens within a strip club.
The things that attract you to a strip club is
the hours, the things you have to deal with. Like, I wouldn't want that for myself.
I see.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's something that I wouldn't do.
Yes, ma'am.
I would choose to perform, meaning I can do the same thing they're doing in a club, but I get to do it in a positive, free, in a more beautiful environment. And that was a choice. Yeah. I could have went to the club thinking that was the way to make money, but there's a lot of different ways to make money that are dark, that are opposite of what it is that I'm wanting to do. You know, you could be a drug dealer, you can be a thug, a gangster, be a robber, you know what I mean? Those are just all dark energy ways to attract the money. Yeah. There's also some more positive, more fulfilling, more happy ways to do that, better hours. That's just what I chose for myself. Yes, and there's nothing wrong with either or. It's just, which one are you choosing for you? Which one works for you?
That's called integrity, if you ask me.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, I'm not willing to sacrifice my morals and my values.
Yeah, and my happiness. Like,
and my happiness. That's real. It's interesting to me. Yeah, the misconceptions. I've dealt with them myself, and people feeling like, you know, with me being an influencer and just somebody who's a positive representation of what's possible, I feel. I oftentimes feel like people try to put me in the positive, quote unquote, box. Mm-hmm. And what that means is, there's a lot of people that meet me or interact with me or experience me, and they feel like I'm supposed to be a certain way because my message is so positive. Yeah. But you have to understand the importance of authenticity, because how Johnny wants me to be, his definition of what positivity and influence is different than Tim's. And Tim is looking at me and saying, hey, you should say it like this and you should do it like this because this is what I believe positivity looks like. And Johnny's saying, no, you should do it like this because this is what I believe. And then Sarah over here is saying, no, you should do it like this. I love this analogy. But yeah, do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like, none of you motherfuckers' opinions matter to me because I love who I am. I have confidence in what I'm doing. But most importantly, I believe in what I'm saying and what I'm putting out. Yes. And I am not willing to sacrifice my ability to be authentically me in order to appease other people. Yes. Come on now.
And the reason, like, if you're watching this, not if you're watching, you are watching it, you can't be out in the world trying to please everybody.
Talk about it.
You will never be.
Yeah.
I had somebody message me the other day and was like, did you say something about the J-Lo thing in the halftime Super Bowl? Like, I was supposed to say something. I was like, "Are you implying?"
I don't give a goddamn about that. Paying my bills.
The way she messaged me was like, "You supposed to have said something about this. How come I didn't see it?" I don't need to give an opinion. There's already thousands out there. It's made my business great. I had new people sign up. That's the only part that matters to me. I want to move like Shakira. I want to go do that. But like, when I became certified to be a coach, I thought for a second, for a year, that I was like, "Will people respect me as a coach, as a speaker, if I still pole dance?" And with that thought, I became depressed, thinking that I had to choose. It took me saying that out loud because it was just like an internal thought, like trying to figure out do I have separate pages? Do I combine it? Like, all of that was so stressful and such bullshit that I became depressed. Because I lost myself. And then it took me saying that out loud for all my friends to remind me, like, yo, that's what the fuck makes you who you are. The fact that you do everything that you do, Nicole, like, that's what makes you bomb. Yeah. And I had to hear that enough times to remember, like, that is my magic. Like, and it's like, I've already been doing that. But then when I tried to title it and then make it look like a thing, that's when I lost myself.
Come on.
So be you. Be the things, all the things that make you happy. If somebody has an opinion about that, that's their opinion. Focus on the people that are like, keep doing you. It's way more people embracing what it is that you're doing and being than not.
Yeah.
And the more you focus on those people, the more you get to be more of yourself.
I'm in the season of just doing shit. Like, don't
just
even, what
do.
the fuck are you asking people for? Like, I just don't understand.
Like just do it.
Why are you, it just annoys me to think about it. So
asking is really just saying no to yourself.
Can you say that again? Are people not listening?
Stop asking for permission, because if you're asking, you're just really you're waiting for somebody to just block your answer. Like, just go do it.
What the hell is going on in here? Why are you asking? And then you know what annoys me the most? Asking people that have never done what you're trying to do.
Oh, my God.
What is wrong with you?
Don't ask people. Don't ask people that are not. If you want advice about being an entrepreneur, ask somebody that's actually ran a business,
who's doing it and successful at it.
Yes.
You gonna go ask your mama?
Don't do that.
Your brother, your sister, your auntie.
And don't be afraid to ask people that have actually done it. Don't think people are outside of you. I've had so many people message me and be like, "Oh my God, you responded."
Motherfucker, what you thought of?
What? Like, why would I not? The only thing I'm not responding to is hi.
Yeah, what the fuck that mean?
Like, how was your day?
Yeah, what you want?
I'm not responding to that little dumb shit. But if you have a real valid question for me, first of all, I'm gonna ask you, could you look that up yourself? Because I'm also just not gonna just be giving information like that you could actually go figure out yourself.
That's empowerment.
Yeah. But be courageous enough and be bold enough to ask for support and to ask people that that you can reach and touch. And you don't also have to go to the person that's, owns the $1 billion company. There's people in the middle of there. Ask the people like where you're trying to go at that next level. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
I feel like in a sense we're kind of there. Like we're easily accessible,
Very.
But yet we're focused on mission and purpose.
Yeah.
And it's like people think about success and they think about movie stars, people out here on the radio, TV, people with a portrayal of success, and not people that are actually boots on the ground, accessible, really doing the community work, really out here working long hours, making shit happen. And that's a part of my mission as well. And sometimes, I know we mentioned outside the power of patience. Yeah. And we're going to talk about that right now because I feel like it's important. I oftentimes find myself getting caught up in the I can't wait. Oh, I gotta say that again. It just gave me chills. Like I can't wait. Sometimes I say that, Nicole. I can't wait, but I can wait. Like, and what I mean by that is these visions that I see in my head are not in my head for no reason. I know exactly who I am. Yeah. And I move accordingly. And I don't care what level of the process or what struggle comes with obtaining what I know I am, because I'm already this. They're not hearing me. Like I'm just vibrating different. I feel like like what I see is my present.
Exactly, because you can even visualize it. That means it's possible.
That means it's already here.
That means it's done. So literally, this is around the patience and what you just said. When I first started pole dancing, it wasn't a thing yet. Yeah. So people pole dance now and they're trying to be where I am. They want the studio. They want to be with J-Lo on the Super Bowl. They want to just be there, right? Yeah. When I started pole dancing, I wasn't aiming for any of that. Yeah. All I wanted to do was learn how to move a little sexier, get these pole tricks, and and be cute. Right. That was it, and have fun. The other thing that I saw right away, because I was a personal trainer at the time, I owned a gym. I owned a gym for 2 years before I actually started pole dancing, which was my training ground for running my own business right after. Nicole. But I started in my living room with my pole in my living room.
Say that one more time.
I started my pole dance business in my living room. Then I added some poles to my gym. Then my gym closed. Me and my business partner got into it, separated. Now I don't have anything.
That happens. We got to say that again because that's a part of the process.
That happens.
I've experienced that multiple times. Keep going.
But those are all learning lessons.
Beautiful.
The next thing I did was like, okay, I don't have a space no more. Let me go on Craigslist and look for a space. I started renting a space out of somebody else's building, like a back room. Would set my poles up, take them down.
Come on.
I was writing down my clients that were calling me from the website that I made on GoDaddy.
Come on now.
Okay?
Come on now.
You want to sign up for what class? And then people would pay, like, there was no Venmo and Cash App back then. I don't even know. I think that people just paying when they showed up. You know what I mean? Like, y'all got it. We got it so good now.
Come on now.
But I would rent a space out for a couple days. Yeah. And then I started getting even more people. Now I'm like, shoot, I want to teach more days, but I necessarily can't. Let me hire some people.
Come on now.
Then I met 2 people that pole dance. I started having them teach. So now I'm teaching 2 people teaching for me. I'm paying them an hourly rate. And next thing you know, the money is just rolling in. But I'm not thinking about the money. I am having fun teaching. So when you hear people say, follow your passion, the money will come, that literally is so true. When you focus on the money, you're not focused on the energy, the love, the giving, and all that stuff.
Let me give it to him another way real quick. And I want you to hold that thought because I want to hear it. You ever had a check you was waiting on in the mail? And you need to pay a bill with it? And you're waiting in desperation? And you wake up every morning and look down the street to see where the mailman at? And you call the people and they say, oh, your check was supposed to be there Monday. And it's Wednesday. And you're thinking, damn, where the fuck is my money at? The way frequency works, the way energy works is the universe associates desperation with lack.
Yes.
So every day when you walk outside, you're putting out a frequency of lack. I don't have. So when you intentionally focus on the money, it clogs up the process.
Oh, everything. And then stop coming.
Trust me, with being an event producer, if it was about the money, I would have been quit. Yeah. Because I don't have many events to where ain't nobody showed up. And then I think back, damn, I was really focused on the money.
Yes.
I was like, if I'm being completely honest and transparent, I'm like, yo, I'm about to make $1,000 a night. I'm about, you know what I'm saying, in 2 hours, I'm about to do this, I'm about to do that. I'm thinking about what I'm about to spend my money on tomorrow. I'm thinking about all this stuff, but it's all centered around money. When you move like that, especially when you're on a mission and people are involved, you clog up the process. So it's beautiful to understand what she's saying. Dude, we got to drive this through their head. I got to bring
I can drive it for you.
Please drive it home. Like, don't focus on the bread. Talk about it.
My business started. Again, I was just making money. I opened my first studio. Again, all I was thinking about was, this is going to revolutionize fitness for women. My studio was making 6 figures. Then I was like, I want to open up a second studio. Come on. Second studio, because I wanted to get in a black neighborhood. That was the one intention. But the second one was, I'm about to make so much money. Come on. All it did was take my money. Because I started focusing on the money. So I opened the second studio, not with and it didn't have the management also. Like, I didn't have enough people in place to help support running a second one. I had the idea. Yes, it was great, the idea, but I didn't have enough people in place to help me run 2 locations like I thought I would, which was just another business lesson. But 2, I started focusing on the money. I was in a position of feeling like I had a lot, but then one day it changed, and I looked at my bank account, and I had like $20,000 revolving my checking. I had $40,000 in my savings over here, and I was like, I was balling. And then one day I looked, and I was like, that's not a lot.
That ain't shit.
And then it went away.
Gone.
But it was a lot.
Come on.
Because I had come from having just $100 in my checking account just a few years ago. But I had learned to save. I had learned to keep money in my I had did all of that. And instead of looking at it as a beautiful thing, because it is, whether you got $100 in your account, if you can keep 100 and put down $5, if you can be excited about that, it will keep building. It'll keep growing. Once you judge it and say it's nothing, now you're saying it's nothing. So it will become nothing.
And a lot of the judgment comes from what other people have.
Yeah. I started comparing against now. Right? I was like, I should have more.
I see other people doing pole dance classes making way more money than me. Or I see, jumping I said,
it looks like this studio is doing more, and it's not. It's not. Facts, so, don't get caught up in what you think people have going on. If you ain't really seeing somebody's house 24/7, if you really not seeing nobody's checking account 24/7, if you're not in their head 24/7, you really don't know. Don't be fooled by the pictures, the videos, the things you see. That's all advertising. Advertising makes everything look good. Yeah.
And you've been in the industry too, where you've dealt with a lot of I could imagine people in the industry, right? People in the industry, right? Yeah. And I'm sure, and I've had a lot of friends who've come on this podcast, and they've had a lot of access to the industry, and they're in the industry, and they say, man, a lot of them people are miserable, big dog.
I learned that a long time ago. I dated a guy who's a multimillionaire, and he was not happy.
Miserable.
So I learned at 19, money doesn't make you happy.
Yeah.
I learned that very, very early.
What do you say to sisters that's out here just prioritizing the money with a dude opposed to other things?
I don't know a lot of those women, so I don't know. It's not where I'm around. But
what's your message to them?
My message would be to it's great if you can find people to support you, but it's even better when you can support yourself.
There we go.
And because when you can support yourself, it shows that you know how to create. Because other people supporting you, they will fall off. And then you're left with nothing because you haven't learned the tools and the skills. I had an ex-boyfriend that used to give me a lot of advice. And I was like, I need to figure some things out. I was like, if you're always telling me what to do, I'll never figure out what to do.
Let me fail.
Let me
fall. Let me fail.
Yeah. And I knew to say that because I was like, if I always just listen to you and I don't ever kind of see for myself, like I won't really know.
Right.
And he totally listened to that and was like, okay. But there were so many other great things that I knew were good. But there were some things I was like, I need to see.
You got to see for yourself. You
have to sometimes. And it's okay to fall and bump your head on those times because otherwise you don't know.
Yeah.
Because not everybody knows everything.
Right.
Like I have a mentor who's great in business, but not necessarily personal relationships or love. And, he's not the softer side. But I knew for business, if I had a question about that, go to him.
I could go straight to him.
You got to know who you're going to. Everybody is not the source for everything. You got to know who to go to for certain things. I got my friends I go to for advice for personal stuff, for business stuff, relationship stuff. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think balance is what's coming up for me.
Yeah.
Balance, Nicole. Like you in circle. Influence, right? People who you allow to have around you, people who you categorize as being your team. I think that people like us, which are influencers, people who are on a clear-cut mission, I think that a lot of times we can forget unintentionally that in order to get where we want to get, we're going to need people around us that have like minds. So I love when you said you had two girls that were also with you in regards to
that was helping me to do my poll.
Poll stuff. So stuff like that. What do you think?
Here's another thing too. During my depression, like over the last this was like three years ago, but over the last 2 years, I found myself seeing people grow on Instagram. I got caught up in that social media thing, and I was like, I want to be friends with those people because they're doing things.
They booming, they cracking.
And started to forget about the circle that I had. This is why this is important. If you can't even build within the circle that you have, you can't build in the circle outside of you.
They're not listening. Be visuals.
Okay.
Be visuals.
So while you think you're supposed to be friends with those people, if those were your people, you would already know them. You would already be friends with them. So like when I found myself doing that, I was like, "Oh, I'm comparing.
What the hell am I doing?"
And I keep hearing these things like lift up your people. And I'm like, so why am I trying to go over here and get these people when I have people? I should be uplifting my circle right here. Like that makes
here.
And now I have that. And it was because I was looking outside of myself instead of leaning into the people, the friends, the amazingness I had around me already. Once I tap back into that, life got good over again.
Ball game.
And then I'm bringing my people up with me. That's so much more value in that than you thinking to go somewhere else and get it. Again, when I took it off the comparison game and just focused in on myself, my friends, and making all of us better, life got better.
There's a certain pride that comes with building something from scratch.
It just does, yo. It's like making those pancakes from scratch. Nicole. Oh my God, I love people so much. I love everybody, and this podcast, this platform is just very special to me for this reason. Everything you're saying is so needed for the people. Yeah, man.
I just pray to God that they're listening.
They're listening
because what she's saying is absolutely truth. It's something to say about building something from scratch. Building it from scratch.
That's the only way you can build it.
It's the only way you'll value it.
Or else it'll be gone. It's
the only way you value it. Let's look at it from a money perspective. Somebody comes up to you, gives you $100,000 cash. Boom, right there, drop the bag off to you. I guarantee you that money will be very, very much so devalued opposed to you making $100,000 yourself. I bet to God you'll spend that a little bit more recklessly. That's right. I bet you'll give it away a little bit more recklessly. I bet you'll be at home finding things to spend it on because you didn't work for it.
That's right.
And so it's the same thing with the dream. You have to understand the importance of building a team from scratch, building a platform from nothing, from an episode 1. So this is what I say sometimes because I feel like sometimes people don't get it until they see their idea of what success is.
Yeah.
So when I tell you I can't wait, I can't wait until they just be like, I can't wait until I sit there and I look at people. I ain't even got to say nothing. Until I look at people with the dumbass look like, nigga, I knew this years ago.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't wait till I'm sitting right here, sitting across from a Will Smith, and people going crazy all over Instagram, like, oh my God, you doing it. It's like, nigga, I knew that when I was talking to Nicole The Pole. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because you were already doing it.
Again, and you have to find something that you not only love and that you can do without money flow. Mm-hmm. You have to have that same passion, same drive, same sense of urgency.
Exactly.
Even if the bread is not coming through, find something that you love so much that nobody can tell you can't do it. That you don't find excuses when you just getting off your 9 to 5. You go do it anyway.
Yep.
You go do it when you tired. You do it when you don't feel like it. That's what Kobe was talking about in regards to like what makes people different in regards to looking at success. It's like, yo, I cannot wait until people just be like, yo, you doing? I'm not gonna say nothing and I'm not gonna change. And that's why I trip off people that's on Instagram and Facebook that's booming to people with no influence. I'm gonna say that one more time. They missed it. Do you have any idea how many people I know on Instagram with hundreds of thousands of followers? I know them personally, but when they drop a product, nobody buys it. When they put on an event, nobody goes.
Yep.
Because it's not about the quantity. It's about the quality.
Yeah.
It's about the influence.
Yeah.
It's about the influence. I done been out with my queen. I done been out with B Visuals. Mm-hmm. Both of them right here is a testament to this, and had complete strangers come up to me like, yo, you King Q. Mm-hmm. I got 3,000 followers on fucking Instagram.
Yeah.
Yo, I've been following you, bro, for years. Because it's about the influence.
Yeah.
It's about the message.
The
it's
messaging,
about the impact. It's about the energy. It's about, like, what about you is going to make somebody that interacts with you never forget who you are.
And that's the only reason for me that a following matters. It's not the number, because I tell people all the time, you can have hundreds of thousands of followers. If you're not making an impact with those people,
it means nothing.
If you're not making money with those people, it means nothing.
I'm going to look at the camera like this.
It means nothing.
There you go.
So, and the only way to get a following is to really be real following. Not the numbers. Yeah. The only way to create a following, meaning, is to be of effect. Mm-hmm. The more value I offer from my voice, my mind, my heart, that creates my following.
Yes, ma'am.
That was why the check mark happened, because I've been sitting in my voice and my power. Universe, God was like, let me show you, baby, because you ain't really realizing I'm not really realizing my impact, my value. Like, I have the moments when I get it when I'm talking to people, but then on an all day basis, I'm not really sitting in it. Yeah. It's when people message me and be like, yo, I just heard this, like somebody this morning, yo, I just heard your podcast. Like, oh my God, it had me doing like all these aha moments. And then I'm like, yes, I'm supposed to be doing that. Yeah. Like, it's not just about the pole. It's not about just it's the everything. It's the energy that I bring into the room. Like a friend just reminded me. He was like, I knew within 5 minutes, like, you was the shit. And just hearing that further ingrained in me, like, yo, I'm the shit. Like,
universal law is beautiful.
You know? That's what matters. And you can do that no matter how many people know about you. I just went to Phoenix, Arizona for a job. Some people hired me. And everybody that met me literally fell in love with me before seeing me on a pole. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Before seeing what it is that I do, just meeting me in my presence. That's what matters to me.
Isn't it beautiful how the universe starts to open up doors that you didn't even know was there once you start walking in your purpose?
Dude, it's like this, since I turned 39, I tell you, man, it's just been real juicy.
Right. Come on, man. It gets
life
better.
Has been juicy.
It gets better.
It gets better because I know more. Yeah.
People out here treating life like when you get older, it gets worse. Man, if you don't change your perspective, it gets better.
And Absolutely. You're not old. People ask me, how old are you? I don't answer that question. I say, did you mean to say, how young am I?
Come on.
Because I'm forever youthful.
Yep.
And I met some ladies the other day. They're like 30. And they're like, oh, my God. I'm like, are you serious? Fucking like, yo, if you can still walk, you're not shitting on yourself. You're not old. Idiot. Like, and you have to eliminate that from your vocabulary because it implies dying and, like, your life falling apart. Like, you're getting better. Every single year you will improve because that's what life is about.
You know what I say a lot? One of the daily affirmations that I say, and I say it to myself and out loud, life is not short, life is long. I'm living a long, healthy, prosperous, and abundant life.
And even if it ended tomorrow, it would still be long.
It's still a long, healthy, prosperous, and abundant life. And I tell people, you have to watch your words. Words are curses.
Man.
Nicole, words are curses. You have to understand that. You got to understand your words are powerful manifestations of your reality.
Yeah.
And I started to realize that along my journey. Remember, we spoke about off camera, and we'll talk about it a little bit now. The spiritual awakening aspect of our journeys, I think, are needed in order to go to a next level.
Yes.
And for me, once I started to understand universal law and how this thing works and frequency, and wow, I can literally speak, feel, hear, see, smell, envision things into existence.
Yes.
By simply my belief system. And see, and I was talking to my queen's mother earlier, and I was telling her, like, life is so much not about what you learn, it's about what you're willing to unlearn. And we've learned a lot of limiting beliefs growing up.
Yes.
And it's our job to unlearn those things and to create new paradigms, new ways of thinking, new perspectives for ourselves. Because if not, we'll constantly find ourselves imprisoned with what people have taught us.
Yeah.
And my life opened up completely when I made the decision to think for myself and to research for myself.
Yes.
To question everything and to move according to what my spirit tells me to do and not what human tells me to do.
Feels good to you. Like, you can read something in the book and not everybody has to agree upon everything. Right. Like, if I read a book and you like, I didn't really feel that book.
Facts.
That book wasn't for you at that time.
Yeah.
But really, make decisions based off what feels good to you. That is your best, your gut. You will know.
What do you think intuition is?
Intuition for me is that thing that just feels, it just feels
good. I follow
good.
everything it says.
Yeah. If something, like, if I have an idea and it's like, it's like firing me, like, you know, the one I was just telling you about, I'm like, that's going to be the shit. Why? Because I'm saying it. Because I'm excited about it. If that's how I feel about something, I already know, because I've proven it over and over and over. Pole dance. When I first started, I was like, this is going to revolutionize fitness for women.
Love it.
That's what it became. I am literally a pioneer in the pole dance industry. Tens of thousands, millions of thousands of people are pole dancing, have seen pole dancing, because I decided to pole dance one day.
Ain't that something?
And I decided because 2 girls showed up at a house party one day.
Come on, talk to me.
I saw another girl with a studio. I said, I can do a studio. I saw somebody make a video, say, I can make a better video. I said, I'm going to be the one that's on the TV, the video, the da-da-da-da-da. That happened. Because that's what I said for myself. I didn't have to choose that, but you choose what's for you. And you also don't have to choose what other people do. Like, you don't have to do it the way I do it. You can do it another way.
It can look completely
different. Don't think the way you see it is the way that it has to be for you across the board. I'm choosing based on my personality.
There we go.
You know what I mean? One of my affirmations is, I'm booking opportunities that blow my mind. You know, that just fire me up. I'm you know what I mean? It's whatever you create. You can wake up every single day and say, $500 is going to just fall. It's just going to fall in my lap.
Do you know that 150% of what you're saying is how I live my life?
That's what it's about, man.
I don't stress over money. I really, really don't. Because once you start to realize universal, I mean, really, like, people out here talking shit and they not living what they talking. I mean, when you really understand universal law, you understand you are what you're seeking.
Yes.
You are abundance.
Yes.
You got to understand. It's my birthright to get what I want.
Yes.
I was not born to struggle. I was born to receive everything in my wildest dreams. Every idea was meant to be manifested. So that is what I receive in my life. My life, I got a saying that I say to people, you receive what you believe. You receive what you believe.
Yeah.
So when you say something and it has no belief attached to it, which most might call faith or whatever, which is dope. But if you have no belief system attached to what you're saying, you'll never receive it. You received everything you got because you spoke it and you believed it. And the most important aspect of what she did and what people like us do is you speak it, you believed it, and you execute it.
And I took
you
action.
Put the work in. Action. She didn't just sit there and say, I want to be a pole instructor, and sat on the couch and ate a fucking donut. And didn't do nothing. And thought it was just going to fall out the sky. Here, God,
and I didn't expect anything to happen overnight. Like, if you're expecting overnight success, it's not going to happen for you. Because you're already setting yourself up not to get there, because that's not going to happen overnight. And so every day that you wake up and you're not there, you're going to think that you're messing up in some way, and that's just not what it is. Like, you're going to have to fall, lay flat on your face. I'm learning to do back handsprings. I said I want to have it by, I think I started in November. I said by the end of the year, I wanted to have done a round off back handspring by myself.
Nice.
I did it.
Come on, gymnastics.
Then in January, I went to the gym again, and I was like, And normally what I would always do is get a spot from my teacher. Make sure I get that spot first. Now I'm like, I'm ready. You know, make sure I got it. I went into the gym last month and go, I'm just do it by myself. No spot. Scared as shit. Went sideways, jammed my shoulder. Fuck myself up. The lesson, Nicole, why are you trying to have it so fast?
What you rushing for?
What am I rushing for? And it was the reminder, because I was doing the thing that I tell everybody not to do, which is, why are you trying to get there so fast? There's no timeline. Yes, I already met my goal. Now start working on cleaning that shit up. Yeah. Meaning work on the skill, the execution, the little baby steps, work on the muscles, work on work on all the little things that make the big thing happen.
Yeah. That's so fucking interesting to me.
And you will always have to keep relearning that. Like, I didn't think I would actually do that again. And I'm like, because I didn't do that. And that's what was so beautiful. I got to see that dynamic. I needed to have that happen again because it was a refresher to why, like I tell my pole dance clients, I'm like, you're not supposed to get this move yet.
What the hell? Yeah.
Like, calm down.
Yeah.
And I'm so like adamant about it. And I'm like, oh my God, I just did the thing that I tell my students not to do. Like, allow yourself to learn. This move may take a month or 2 days or a week.
Or how about
Same thing for my gymnastics.
Come on. How about this one? This may take a year.
Yes.
This may take 3 years.
And that's just what it takes.
This may take 7 years. And I'm going to fall in love with every fucking piece of the process.
If you really meant to do it, you're supposed to love every little part of it.
That's right. And I believe that so much. And like I mentioned earlier, I just live my life like that, man. I'm so blessed to have had the accelerated growth process that I feel like I've been through. And it's a testament to submission.
Yes, you got to surrender.
You have to surrender.
Ooh. My friend told me to surrender 3 years ago. I was like, what the fuck is it? Like, it made me mad, it let me know. Oh. And I started doing this surrender meditation on YouTube.
Come on.
YouTube, everything's on YouTube. If you need something, just go look it up. I started doing this surrender meditation. It was like 30 minutes. I would do it every night before bed. Surrender is saying what it is that you want to create.
Yep.
But understanding you don't know all the best possibilities to get there. Surrender is letting God show you the possibilities that you would never even think of.
Facts.
Surrender is saying, I want this thing to happen, allowing it to show up the different ways
that it's supposed to.
Stop
trying to say it's supposed to look a
like,
certain way.
Because trust me, as big as our minds are, they're so small.
We have no idea.
No idea. And when you can own that, that is when you become in the flow.
I'm trying to tell you.
So like me, right in the morning, I'm booking $1,000 job. What if I said I want to book this that gets me this one thing? No, just say I'm booking $1,000 jobs. It's gonna come how it come.
That's it. How about this one? There's people out there that got bills they need to pay, multiple stacked up. They stress.
I have all the money coming to me to pay my bills. Just say that.
How about this one? I say it all the time. All of my bills are paid in full. Thank you in advance.
Thank you.
Look, I don't know how it's going to come. I don't know where it's going to come from, and that's okay.
And I'm not going to worry about that. Because if you're stressing about it, wondering, that means you're not surrendering.
This is my thing. And we two people that have experienced the religious aspect of spirituality as well as just spirituality on our own. And this is what fucks me up. Whether you believe in God, whether you believe in Jesus, whether you believe in Elijah Muhammad, whether you believe in universal law, you believe in a power that's stronger than you.
Yeah.
And why is it that when stress knocks at your door, you forget what you believed in? Why are you directly disrespecting the entity that you pray to every day?
And that's when you're fighting life.
By stressing. So when you pray for something and you're still stressing internally, you can't lie to the universe. You can't lie to God.
You can't lie to yourself.
You can't lie to yourself. Well, you can lie to yourself. A lot of people out here lying to their damn
But the
self.
lie is your resistance.
I'm cool. And it's like, nah, nigga, you ain't cool.
Yeah.
You know you ain't cool. But I'm saying that to say, start really walking in what you speak. And I promise you, I don't talk to people about nothing I have not experienced. I promise you, you will experience literal miracles.
Oh, yeah.
In your life. To where I've had it multiple, like I have so many financial stories to where I will have motherfuckers' jaws dropped to the floor.
I have some amazing
hundreds of dollars, just like
thousands of dollars.
Thousands, like here.
If you would just be open.
If you would submit. If only you would just surrender.
Yeah.
If only you would just stop. You create stress creates resistance.
Yes.
So if you would only just let go and allow things to be what you know they're supposed to be. So if you're in a home that you let's say, for example, it's people out here that believe, you know, God or the universe or whatever you believe in, which is great, keeps a roof over their head, or, you know, God blessed me with this car, or God blessed me with this family, or God blessed me with this or that. But once you don't have enough money for your rent or your car note, you start stressing. Well, what you're doing and you're saying subconsciously is, and unintentionally is, God didn't give me this.
Yeah.
Because if you believe God gave it to you, then he's going to sustain it.
Like he always has.
He doesn't give you anything he can't sustain or provide. But the problem with humans is we feel like it should look a certain way. So here's a limiting belief. The only way that I can get money is through my job, and I ain't got no hours.
Yeah.
The only way that I can get money is through my job, and I don't get paid in 2 weeks, so I don't know how I'm going to get it.
Which means you don't allow for somebody else to give it to you. You don't allow
anything else to be open for you. You've completely closed yourself into the idea that you only receive money through a 9-to-5 job that you clock into.
Which is a tiny, tiny hole.
Check this. Nicole, your main man, King Q, I receive finances abundantly from a multitude of different streams. And I don't know what those streams look like. But I promise you, my flow is very, very sustained. It's consistent. I don't care where it comes from. I'm just like this.
Yeah, just hold your arms over and be like, it's coming to me.
And guess what? You know what fucks us up a lot? Me and my girl talk about a lot is ego.
Yeah.
Ego's a killer.
Dude.
Ego is a purpose killer.
Oh, yes.
It's a purpose killer. It's a mission killer. Because guess what happens? Have you heard the analogy? I forgot where it was from. I think it was from a book or something. But it's this analogy of this guy who was stranded in the middle of the ocean in a boat.
Yeah.
And he prayed to God to come help him. And there's a boat that passes him up and it says, hey, you need help? And he says, no. I'm waiting on God. I'm waiting on God. God told me he got me. No, I'm good. I don't need no help. Then another boat comes and says, hey, you need help? And he says, no, God got me. And like, those were the forms.
That was God. Like, God is your people.
That was God sending you help. But your ego
said it can't look like that.
It can't look like that. It's not supposed to look like that. And for me, it feels so good to just surrender. I've had experiences. I'll tell you a short one real quick. I've had experiences, and my good friend, shout out J.D. Bailey, he was a testament to this. He was right in my house when it happened. I needed a bill paid. I was in my crib early morning. He had spent the night at my house, and we were about to go for a hike. And before we went to the hike, I found myself kind of worrying about the bill that needed to be paid. It was around $100 and something. And I caught myself, and I remember standing in my living room with my boy J.D. Bailey. And I said, you know what? I said, I'm not going to stress about it. I said, because I know I already have it. Yeah. And even though today is the deadline, I know for a fact, and I meant what I said. I wasn't just saying it. I felt like it's already done. Yeah. Like, I'm literally not about to even worry about it because I know it's already done. Yeah. And I'll never forget opening up my window, right? Pulling up the blinds on my window in my living room and saying, I have more than I need. My bills are paid in full. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have more than I need. Yes. My bills are paid in full. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I promise to God as my witness. We walk outside probably about 10 minutes later, and we're walking to his car. He parked on my street. I walk down my driveway. I make a right-hand turn, and guess what's sitting in my neighbor's front yard and right in their garden clear as day?
What's that?
A roll of 20s.
Won't he do it?
$100. And this nigga JD Bailey
he went wild,
sitting
right?
there looking at me like
nigga,
what the fuck? And I told him, I said, bruh, we are energy. Yes. We are frequency. We are electricity. We you're not hearing me. We literally have fucking superpowers.
That's what I want to teach you. We got superpowers.
We have superpowers. We have the ability to speak things and they come. We have the ability to visualize things and they come to fruition. Yeah. We have the ability to feel things into existence. Yes. Imagine things, but whatever. Like I firmly know without a shadow of a doubt that there's no reason to ever stress over money. And the only resistance that I'll ever experience in that field is ego and pride. Yeah. Those are the only two things that do block me when I do experience it. It's ego and pride. Yep. So whether or not I have to, I gotta ask my homegirl for help, or I gotta make myself vulnerable.
That's the person coming in the boat.
That's the fucking boat.
Nigga, let it come.
Just for me, it's just like, and what's beautiful about it is, what helps me a lot is knowing that I would have done it for them if I had it.
And that's the other thing I tell people to remind themselves of. Also, I did a self-transformation program, and it was like, to do this next program, I needed $1,000. Yeah. I was like, yo, I don't have that extra $1,000 in my checking. I was like, I could put it on credit card. Don't really want to do that. Yeah. The person that was leading this training, somebody asked, well, can I ask somebody else for money? She said, you can do that, but don't just ask for money. If you're going to ask, be of service for it.
That's right. Provide a service for it.
Provide a service.
That's what it's about.
That's what it's about. So like, even like when they say, if you really found your passion because you would just be doing it if you weren't getting money. If somebody's going to give you some money and you don't want to just take the money, do something for it.
Yeah.
Be of service.
Provide your gift.
Provide whatever that is. There is something you can always do for somebody. So if you're needing some money, don't be afraid to ask for it. Do something for it. Give something to it.
Out the week.
Yes.
I come take your trash out.
And have no problem doing that.
I'll take the kids to school.
Whatever, because that's being of service. First of all, that's tithing back. Somebody's giving you something, give something back. Right. If you're not willing to do that, you're really not open to receiving abundance, because abundance comes through people, not one thing.
Come on. Yeah.
Abundance is the sky.
Abundance is all.
I remember telling my spiritual advisor, I was like, I have a friend that wants to help me with my rent when I had to close my studio and my money wasn't flowing like it used to. It was hard for me to accept that. And I was like, that's the boat. That I even have a fucking friend wealthy enough to be like, hey, I can help you with your rent. You chill. Don't worry about it. Yeah. And then me feeling a certain way about it. That was a block. Yeah. And he was like, Nicole, stop thinking of it coming from that person. Think of it as a source. It's coming from the abundance. And he got me to shift my mindset. It still took a very long time, but I needed to experience that every fucking month, that I needed to ask for help until I fucking got it.
Until you got on your own.
Until I realized that's abundance.
Yeah.
That's what it looks
like.
When
you change your perspective, you understand that.
And I had to think of, wouldn't I do that for someone else?
Of course you would.
If you would do it for someone else, you have to allow it for yourself. If you don't allow it for yourself, you'll never be able to do it for somebody else.
Absolutely.
That's how you multiply.
And check this one out. I love that. The universe wouldn't even allow you to receive it if you wouldn't do it for somebody else.
And if you weren't worthy of it.
That's right.
People reminding me, Nicole, like, that's fucking dope. Like, girl, that's a blessing. You know what I mean? But I've been taught something else that says no to that. Or thinking that, being a woman, accepting money from a man, that there has to be some other exchange.
Somebody taught you that.
None of that. Learn that. That's what made me even more resistant. Do I have to do something for this? It's like, no.
No, nigga, just take the fucking money. Nicole, what the fuck are you talking about? Take this goddamn $1,000
and that's
up for your
even
rent.
What's so crazy is it's a thing that comes with women. That's something that we have to do. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, men you ain't gotta worry about that. If you know if your homie giving you money, you ain't thinking he wants you to suck his dick. You know what I mean? So and it's kind of sad, because that's not the case. You know when it's the case, but you also know when it's not the case, and it's all about creating connections. I also realized that I've obviously been some type of a person to even have sources like that.
Come on.
I put enough good energy and amazingness into the world where I even had somebody that could do that for me. And I've experienced that so many times over in my life.
Absolutely.
And that's beautiful.
I believe stuff like that should never be taken for granted. Understanding your influence is powerful. And, I'm so grateful for the people I have around me, Nicole. At times I feel like, God damn, it's an overflow. Like, literally right now, the season and harvest that I'm in, from a relationship standpoint, from a business standpoint, from a support standpoint, from a mission standpoint, it's everything around me is an overflow. And at times I feel like the little boy in me, we all struggle with fighting what we've been taught. Yeah. The little boy who is not used to receiving love in that way says, oh damn, what do we do with all of this? It's kind of like hitting the jackpot. Yeah. Like, that's how I feel every single morning I wake up, like I hit the fucking jackpot. I'm literally living my dream every single day. I told myself 4 years ago I'd never work a job that's outside of my purpose. I firmly believe in pouring into the youth. It fires me up, just like this podcast does. If I don't have passion for it, I can't do it. I refuse to do it, actually. Yeah. I won't be able to do it if I'm not passionate about it. Yeah. And so for me, it's very important for me to also get that message out to people. A lot of people think that I bash jobs, and I don't think that's the message that I put out at all. It's more so saying, do what fulfills you most, do what makes you most happy. And there's people that, you want to know people that actually love doing what they do? Go your ass to fucking In-N-Out and Chick-fil-A. You want to see some people that love their fucking jobs with no judgment? They're servicing people and they love it. Yeah. I ain't judging them. Hey, if that's what you want to do what you do. And it's like, somebody's got to have the jobs. Somebody got to fucking flip them burgers, nigga, because I'm in line. Yeah. So what I'm saying is just really, for the people, focus on what fulfills you the most. Focus on that thing that brings you the most happiness, the most joy, the most sense of fulfillment. Because if you don't, you'll find yourself in a very toxic cycle of trying to please people that are not walking in their purpose. And isn't that a trip? The majority of people who we find ourselves trying to please, if not all the people that we find ourselves trying to please, are people that are not walking in their purpose. They're people that are caught up in a certain way of thinking and a certain way of living. We're trying to appease people that are not even in alignment with our lives anymore. And we feel like just because they're family, friends, childhood friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, business partners, we feel like just because they have these titles that they're supposed to be a part of our journey. And I say, my main man Nipsey Hussle says, circle getting smaller, everybody can't go. Everybody can't go.
Yeah.
Everybody's not going to be able to go. And I remember getting that feedback from a sister probably about 2 years ago. She whispered in my ear, older sister, she said, it's on my heart to let you know that everybody you love is not going to be able to go with you on your journey. And I said, man, I appreciate that so much. So with that being said, I'm just extremely grateful to be able to sit across from a like mind. I feel like I'm looking in the mirror in regards to your perspective and the way that you view life. I think it's beautiful. I think this conversation was absolutely needed. We covered a lot of fucking ground.
Yeah.
And I think that people are going to be very fulfilled, and they're going to, and this is the thing I also need to get out to people. Stop watching things like this and not applying what you hear. Just stop it. Like, actually try to apply what you're hearing and just give it a chance. We're not, again, you've heard things like things are not going to change overnight. Be patient, be consistent, implement your ideas, empower other people, share, right? All these positive things. And it's like, look, you're looking at two people, man, that don't have it all figured out. We're just being obedient to our calling. We're being obedient to intuition. We're trying new things. We're willing to fail. We're willing to look stupid. We're willing to, you know what I'm saying? Put ourselves, it's like whatever. Who gives a fuck? Like, I tell my girl all the time, like, I don't give a fuck what people say about, I genuinely don't. I do not care if people look at this episode and be like, oh, I don't like him because he cursed. Well, motherfucker, turn the channel.
Yeah, like find somebody else. Yes.
Like,
I've had people tell me, I don't like the way you said that. Well, go find somebody else.
Turn the channel. And I say that with love. It's like, I'm not gonna ever live my life trying to appease people. I'm living my life to appease me.
Yeah.
And if you're in agreement with a view, or if it hits you in a certain way, if you like it, then come on. I got more than enough room on this boat for you to go on, jump on, and I'm gonna empower you so you can do the same thing in your own right. So with that being said, we always end off all of our episodes here at the Unselfish Behavior Podcast with a nice little segment that we like to call here an unselfish message. That's right.
Unselfish message.
That's right. To where our guest will look at this camera right here, which is your camera, by the way, and you'll leave the people out with what we call, again, an unselfish message. This message is centered around absolutely anything you want to leave the people with, whether it was something in this discussion, whether it's a view of life, whether it's a last motivational thing you want to say, whether it's a plug, whatever you want to do. You want to leave the people out with Nicole The Pole Williams' unselfish message.
Nicole, the Soul Coach's unselfish message is: think of something that it is that you desire to do. Write it down. I want you to write out a story as to what it looks like, and I want you to write out the best outcome, meaning the one, like, make that shit up. Do that for everything that it is that you want to happen in your life. Think of the best possible outcome, and if you don't know what that is, just ask for your highest good. Because I see a lot of people coming up with ideas, and they think of everything that's going to get in the way of it. Like, I want to start a business, but, well, how am I going to do this and this? Stop thinking about all that shit. Think of, or play out the vision of it, everything working out and playing out in your favor. That's how shit happens.
I love it.
Everything that I've created, I just said I want the shit to happen. It's going to happen. Just let it flow. And I always think of the best possible outcomes.
So basically what Nicole is saying is sit your ass down. Stop blocking your blessings by trying to make things look a certain way.
Yeah.
Set an intention. Put forth the work. Stay consistent. Stop asking for fucking feedback from people that are not in alignment with you. I get it, asking for feedback. I love asking for feedback with like mind. So I can pick up the phone and call my sister Nicole and ask her, because she's in alignment. She thinks like I do. I could call Be Visual. I could call my queen. I could call people that's in my circle to say, look, these are like-minded individuals who ain't ever gonna stray me away from my purpose. I can get it. So y'all have to understand the importance of that. With that being said, we don't end off no episodes here at the Unselfish Behavior Podcast. That is the number #1 podcast in LA. We always say that because it's truth. We believe in speaking things into existence. And this is the biggest and baddest media platform that's available today. You got to understand right now. You heard it first. King Q been saying it. This is why I say it. This is why I say it. Be visuals on camera before it happens, so that they can reflect back to these moments. I say, yo, I'm telling you right now, and I know it for an absolute, undeniable fact that this is the biggest media platform in the country. Yeah, that's right. Unselfish Behavior Podcast. You know, this is it right here. So with that being said, we always got to shout out the team before we leave. My main man, B Visuals, who is the guru behind the production. And you know we got the queen. She's always willing to put any hat on. She is also our booking manager. So if it's any of y'all out there, man, that want to hop on Unselfish Behavior Podcast, make sure you email us at unselfishbehaviorpodcast@gmail.com, where you will be in direct conversation and communication with our booking manager, Simone. With that being said, we love you, King Q, Nicole The Pole Williams.
Out.
Come on now. We out.
We out on the #1 podcast, baby.
Yo, what's going on? It's your main man, King Q. If you like that episode, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, like, and leave a comment. And also, if you want to follow the movement, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Unselfish Behavior Podcast. And as you know, we out.